Issues of domestic violence are not entirely new in the society. What is on the increase is the reportage. Some people grew up seeing their fathers physically or emotionally abusing their mothers, or in rare cases, vice versa. Reports say nearly 3 in 10 Nigerian women have experienced physical violence since age 15. The same source says 1 in 4 married women experience physical, sexual, or emotional abuse by their husband or partner. One can hardly fault these findings owing to the people's cultural, societal, and even religious belief that the man is the head of the family, while the woman remains submissive, enduring, and most times unheard. Things are changing, with more women finding themselves getting accomplished in their chosen profession and managing their marital lives with renewed vigor. Can this also be attributed to the increase in domestic violence? What are the warning signs?
Not that women don't abuse their husbands as well, but you find out that in most cases, on the side of the woman, it's always a psychological abuse or a verbal abuse where a woman will nag, but will not necessarily go violent. But in the other case of the other gender, you find out that the man, the way, because of their stature and everything, they just lash out, even at times without even thinking about it at all. And I think that is more of it rather than people trying to get to be equal with the man or to be equal with the other gender. No. I know of lots of cases where a girl had been, or ladies had been, abused by their boyfriends, but they still go ahead with a wedding. You see, when a man or even a woman is aggressive in a relationship, even before you tie the knots, you should see the warning signs there. But most people choose not to see the warning signs, or they think that, oh, when I marry him, he will change. You cannot change a person.
Now that women are taking their positions in the judiciary and or in other public places, men are trying to be judiciary. They perhaps believe that women are trying to take over. And so in some homes, some men are resisting it. Because from the history of these patches of domestic violence that we have had, we have come to realize that in those homes, women, well, in few of those homes, these women that were killed were the breadwinners. And so because of the complex that this may have created in the minds of the men, it led to this.
With most of the reported cases resulting to bodily harms, injuries, loss of body parts, and even death, a lot of women and men are still staying in abusive relationships. Are these stories making the rounds in the media not enough lessons? The case of Ronke Bewaji Shonde, who was murdered allegedly by her husband Lekon at their Tiemo close home, is still under investigation. Series of allegations that theirs was an abusive marriage are all over the media, but they were able to put up appearances that all was well. When exactly should an abused person take a walk, knowing full well that most victims are dehumanized by this society and mistreated by law?
Parents are always the ones that I blame most of the time, because they tell these girls, oh, you cannot come back. I spend a lot of money on weddings. How you want to disgrace me in front of my friends, that, oh, the marriage of 6 months is already on the rocks and everything, forgetting that the life of the girl is at stake. So I think the society really needs to be sensitized.
Taking another look at the growing rate of domestic violence, should marriage be a do-or-die affair?
Marriage is good, it's desirable, but if it is not working, do not die there. There are other areas that you can make your impact felt. As a matter of fact, marriage is for the home and not for what you can contribute to the society. The fact that a woman is a single mother does not make her less important or less contributive to the society. And therefore, women should not die in that home because they do not want people to know that they are undergoing violence in the society because of the stigma.
But there are some situations whereby your wife might offend you. If your wife offends you, instead of you to beat her, there are some ways to give her the punishment. But if the man keeping beating a wife, I think the woman needs to leave the man.
If a man and a woman are together and there's no peace for the lady, whereby the husbands, beating every now and then, that can lead to another thing. It is better for the lady to divorce, at least for peace to reign.
It's not good just to marry because of one thing or the other. You have to get a quality partner and make sure that you love one another before getting into the marriage. That one will bring a peaceful house. And in such case, it's hardly for divorce to even arise.
For a man and a woman to agree to come together to form a union, it should be something of life. It's life, time, how will I call it? Contracts. Do you get it? So if there's going to be any need for any abuse, they should settle it amicably.
No, it should not be a do or die affair. It should never be a do or die affair. If the man cannot provide and the woman cannot supplement, let it end like that.
When there are issues or traits of domestic violence, endeavor to speak with someone. Seek support mechanism from family, close friends, and even government agencies.
There's an increased zero tolerance by the society to issues of sexual and gender-based violence. People are now more aware of the support services available. People now know where to report. People now know where to go to. And also for us in Lagos State, there's the political will to fight this menace. So those three factors contribute to why you have increase in reporting of these cases. As we always say, every domestic violence case is a potential murder case. Let's not wait until we hear people dying. Let people come out. Let people speak out. Let them get the needed help they need.
The fight against domestic violence is a collective one. Ensure you take a stand today. The younger ones should be trained to respect one another, irrespective of their gender. Let us discontinue the trend of inadvertently raising men who become serial cheats, abusers, women beaters, and generally violent men. And same goes for women. Do not end up being a statistic. Remember, it is not your fault that you're being abused. Let us put an end to domestic violence now.